Well, we're here with another episode of Tell Me a Story, and today is a very interesting story. It's about being sick and then not being so sick. So, Kim is here and Brendan is here. Brendan, have you ever been very, very sick? Like, sick? Like a bad fever or a bad tummy? Have you been sick?
Only in the evening I got a bad fever.
Once? Why are you laughing? Did you never fall sick? When? When did you fall? Like, what happened to you? Can you tell our viewers what happened?
Then I was eating food and
You vomited.
and my stomach started to pain.
That sounds bad. Well, we all get sick, yes.
When I was getting up in the evening, I wanted to vomit there.
Yeah.
I vomited in the toilet.
Oh, good boy. High five. Gotta take care of yourself. But, sometimes it's a fever, sometimes we get a wound or we're running and we fall down. We all fall sick at some point of time or the other. The point is, who makes us okay then?
Doctor.
Very good. And what does a doctor do? What does he do? What does a doctor do?
He gives medicine.
He gives medicines. He checks you. He goes, Kim, what's happening? And then he gives you medicines. In the Bible, we've got a man that we all know. His name is Jesus. He seems to be also like an amazing doctor, and he can heal. And this is going to be just one of those stories. So are we ready? Okay. Kim, can you tell us what we have to start off to make the craft?
We have some markers,
Very good.
some crayons,
Very good. Wax crayons,
and a scissor,
a pair of scissors,
and
a pencil.
and used ice cream stick,
Very good. Used ice cream sticks
and some paper.
and some paper. So this paper is very special, okay? You can use old textbooks. I always like to reuse what's already there. But a picture of a boy or a man which needs to be colored in, and we need for each child 2 such pictures. So each child will get 2 such pictures. You'll have to find identical, or you can draw it with your hand and give it to the child. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand what was the sickness. So there was this sickness called leprosy at that point of time. And you know what used to happen in leprosy? Suddenly your hands used to get all red and you could see blood and they would fall off. Your fingers would fall off or your nose would fall off. And you did look very nice. So I want you to paint this boy as if he would be very, very sick. So you can put some, dark color on the face and some, you can go ahead and paint it. Let's start, Brendan, Kim. We're going to use our wax crayons. Now, when someone had leprosy, their hands would be, let's say, a different color than the rest of their hand. They'd have like 2 fingers not there, or they'd have brown spots on their face, like that. And of course, because they were not allowed to stay, when people get very sick and they don't have baths for many days, their clothes also get very dirty. So we're gonna kind of put some. There you go, Brent. Come on, help me out. There you go. We need to tell kids that when you don't have a bath and when you don't take care of yourself, if you fall down and you don't put medicine on it, which it hurts and it's crazy, but we have to take care of it because it's just going to become bigger. So you have to heal quickly. Leprosy, though, it's a kind of disease that was considered not healable. It couldn't be healed. So people were put outside the village and they were, shunned and nobody kind of looked at them. And this was one such boy.
Some people don't like the leprosy men.
They don't like people with leprosy, that's correct. That's
He
very
got
sad.
one stick and one bell to tell people I'm sick.
Yes, correct. There, smart woman. They used to roam with a stick and a bell around, so that all the villagers knew there's a man of leprosy coming, and everybody would go far away and not even go close to them. It's very sad to be sick like that. Once again, it's a nice tip when you're coloring. If you go up and down in one direction like this, it looks very clean and neat, especially with wax crayons. It's an up and down motion, and you can be nice and neat with your work. How about some green for his clothes? There you go. You can use some red tape to put some marks onto the clothes, like so.
My favorite color is also red.
Red. Can you color this red? There you go. Clip up his hands. Very nice, Kim. Very nice. Brendan.
What should I do for the legs?
Usually in the wax crayons you have this creamish kind of a color. You can use that.
And then I have to do for the grass.
Yes. The grass is always
Green.
green. We're going to make him look sad, like that. Very nice, Brendan.
Teacher, I always do like this because it's very hard to do like that.
Yeah. Very good. Brendan seems to have finished. Now, Brendan, if this boy here, see, we've made the face look sad, and if this boy here had not had a bath for months, how dirty would he be?
Very dirty.
Come on, we're gonna show him with bruises and stains, and because that's what happens if you don't have a bath every day, you start getting dirty. Yeah, how dirty can he be if he's not had a bath for months? Then some dirt here because he's walking down, and mud comes in. Your feet get dirty. And there's marks everywhere.
Some people are throwing stones on him.
Yes, some people throw stones. We're now going to fill in, take either a very bright pink, orange, or a red, and make spots on his hands and face like that. Because when people get leprosy, their body gets like a bump and their skin becomes red and it starts oozing out. There you go.
I need red.
You can use pink on their hands, on their face, on their feet, everywhere their skin start getting sick. All right, there we have. Now, on the other page, we're going to start painting a happy boy, someone who is enjoying himself, and we'll tell you how that happens. There you go. So now you need to, as if he's had a bath and he's clean, and he's gone to the doctor and the doctor has taken care of him, something like that. You're going to color him nice and happy. Brendan, can you do the borders here? You take pink and color the borders. Or would you like some brown?
Pink.
Are you sure? I think brown will look better because the cloak is red. Yep. There you go. Very nice. Oh, that looks lovely. I'm going to put a smile on this one's face. Do you know what happens when you're happy? Brendan, look at me. When you're happy, your smile goes up. Right? Smile.
Yeah.
See, can you see Can you see Brendan? Smile, Brendan. The smile goes up. Kim, can you smile for everybody? There. And when you're sad, there, the smile goes down. There, the smile goes down. And that is why when we're trying to draw a happy person, we put a U upwards, and when we're trying to draw a sad person, we put it down. So in all your pictures, try and have a happy smile. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and keep our colors away because the coloring bit is done. And we're going to go ahead and cut this boy that we have. We're going to go ahead and cut the edges. I'm going to show you how to do that. If you're too young and your parents do not allow you to use scissors, you can ask them to cut it for you, or you can do it yourself. So if you're too young, like Brendan, how old are you again? Can you remember?
6.
If you're 6 years old and younger, you cannot use a pair of scissors, they're sharp. So you can use your mom, or you can ask your mom, your dad, or your brothers and sisters to help you cut. So we're going to go ahead and cut. Make sure that you can see the feet. We'll try not to cut the feet. There you go. Brendan, what would you name this boy?
What?
What would you name this boy if you had to name him? Because we don't have a name to this boy in the Bible. So if you were to name this boy, what would you name him?
Jesus.
Jesus? No, Jesus healed him. What would you name him?
Abraham.
Abraham is not. No, this is another story. This is not the story of Abraham. Do you have a friend whose name you'd like? Do you have a friend who usually falls sick?
Well, my mama also falls sick when I fall sick.
Yeah.
But then my mama gives me medicine. I have so many medicines in there.
There you go. We're trying to get the right cut. Yes, you're going to need the... Correct.
Oh, nice.
We're making music now, are we? We're happy? There we go. Alright. Whenever you have leftover paper, I want you to stack it up and fold it so that the next time you're making some craft and you need some paper to make strips of, you can use this paper. Yes! Can you show everybody how to put it? Come here, Kim.
What's it to go?
Very nice. There you go. You spread it out through the... Very good. More, a little more. Half the stick. Half the stick. Very good. Half the stick.
I cannot remember what doesn't know.
To use glue? You can use glue. Go ahead. Half the stick, and then you stick your happy person onto it. Then we go ahead and we cut the not so happy man because he has leprosy.
Teacher, I'm going to let me try out.
Yes.
If you want, you can color the stick.
If you want, you can color the stick. You want to color the stick, Kim? Go ahead.
I'm going to color this stick. My favorite color, red.
Go ahead, Bryn. Color it.
I'm going to do wax color.
Yes.
My favorite color.
On the same stick, on the other side.
But I forgot to put glue on the other side.
So you're going to put the glue now. We're going to put some glue and we're going to stick the other man you painted. There you go. We're going to stick both of them together, both sides. Go ahead, Kim. Stick this on the other side too. Very nice. We're going to put away our colors and our crayon. Always remember to put your things back in place. This story is about a man with leprosy. So, what is leprosy? Leprosy is a disease that is caused by bacteria. People that get leprosy usually live in poor areas, have dirty water, eat food with little nutrition, and aren't healthy to begin with. It looks very bad. It can make a face look bumpy and completely change the way a person looks. Some people get it on their hands or on the feet and lose their fingers and toes from it. This isn't everything. Leprosy is, but you get the picture. On top of it all, during the time when Jesus was around, people thought leprosy was caused by people's sins. So if someone had leprosy, it was because he or she had done something terribly wrong. For all these reasons, the lepers, as they were called, were kicked out of the city and had to live on the outsides of it. They weren't allowed in stores or churches or any public places. So many times they went to live in the dumps where the garbage was to find food and other things they needed. No one wanted to see them for the fear of touching them and catching the disease or becoming unclean because of their sins. Now, to the story.
Jesus was going around at this time healing people and telling stories. Word got around about Jesus, so people followed him because they wanted to hear what he had to say or to see a miracle. While Jesus was walking and talking with people, a man with leprosy approached him, fell to his knees, and put his face to the ground begging, "Lord, if you want to, can you heal me and make me clean?" Something amazing happened next. It was no big deal. Jesus reached out and touched the man. Wait a minute. Jesus reached out and touched a man with leprosy? This was not allowed. Now, Jesus would be unclean. Besides, the man looked really bad and was very sick. None of this mattered to Jesus. However, he reached out his hand and said to the man, "I will heal you. Be clean." And right in that moment, the leprosy left him.
This showed that Jesus was more than just a man. Jesus healed the man of his disease, but also cleansed him from his sin without becoming infected himself. Jesus then asked the man to do one thing. He asked him not to tell anyone what just happened, to go to the priest to be checked out. This would show that he was cleansed. He would leave an offering. Then the priest would give permission for him to come back and live with the other people again. By going to the priest, the healed man would send a message that Jesus had a special power from God. The people were waiting for a Messiah, and the priests and Jews believed that only God could cure leprosy. This was supposed to be the sign that the Messiah had come. Instead, the man was too excited and told everyone he saw what had happened. This made it hard for Jesus to walk around in the cities because large crowds would flock him, and the Jewish leaders started to go against Jesus because they didn't believe that he was sent by God.
But people kept coming to see him from everywhere. Jesus heals the leper Bible story. The message that I want you to take from this story is that it doesn't matter to what you have done, how you look, or what your people think about you.
Start talking and notice from the beautiful things outside: a butterfly, a flower, a sunset, the love of a parent or a friend, even kindness from a stranger. All these things are ways of God is trying to show you His love for you. Enjoy God's love, and I'll see you at the next story.